Kadima! Shalom Aleichem!
Kadima!
Shalom Aleichem!
Kadima!
Shalom Aleichem!
Kadima!
Do it in front of the camera.
Yes. Hi, I'm Reiner Waldman Adkins. I'm a tallish, light beige colored man with a salt and pepper goatee and mustache, glasses, a kind of big nose, wearing a rainbow-colored Guatemalan kippah, a white shirt, black pants, and a black tweedish jacket.
And I'm Lauren. I'm a shorter white person with short brown hair, glasses. I'm wearing dark jeans and a leafy pattern, one might even say herbaceous, short sleeve button-up. And the two of us serve as co-presidents of Kadima's board of directors.
Kadima was founded in 1978 by some people I'm looking at around the room as the Jewish Liberation Alliance and quickly became Kadima, Forward.
What those founders, many of whom are here this evening, planted in the 70s and 80s, and what so many have continued to water over the years, has grown into something that I don't think that they ever imagined, with a school, a rabbi, our own Torah, a member of the Reconstructionist movement,
Bingo!
and even a website and an Instagram account.
We planted seeds.
Bingo!
They
Bingo!
understood how a radical blending of action, culture, learning, community, and celebrating and wrestling with tradition are all necessary to move Tikkun Olam, world repair, forward. It's our job to keep watering and tending this garden, not just for our descendants and students, but for our own joy. This garden can give us, oh, it's gone, bread and roses too. Over the past years, we've collectively gone through immense changes and transformations. The pandemic isn't over, especially for our immunocompromised community members, and we're still figuring out how to change, expand, adapt, and find the roots that connect us, virtually and in person, near and far, and I'm waving at the Zoom camera.
We are a coalition of different kinds of people who come here for different kinds of things. We're a community, a congregation, a cultural, artistic, and political organization that must be co-created with the full participation of each of our various parts.
We want to express some deep appreciation and love for those many parts. We are so grateful for all the incredible leaders who have shown, are showing, and will show diverse kinds of leadership within Kadima and outside of it to amplify the values and shared communities, shared principles Kadima holds dear. And imitation. Board elections are in May, and if you want to join this work of community stewardship, come talk with us. We're kind of cute, we're kind of nice. Or email us at prez@kadima.org. That's PREZ @kadima.org. We'll be very impressed if you do that.
Don't clap for that. So we're going to recognize some folks, and as we recognize them, please share your appreciation in the chat with your body and with your voice. So raise your hand if you've ever served on Kadima's board, steering committee, coordinating committee, or any other iteration of Kadima's governing body.
This next call is really important to me. I'm the first board member who's also a former Kadima employee. Raise your hand if you've ever served as a Kadima staff member. Our employees build the healthy foundation we need for strong community learning and activism, and they deserve an honorable and sufficient parnassah, livelihood.
Raise your hand if you have ever helped organize Heart and Chutzpah.
This is going to get busy looking around the room. Raise your hand if you've ever worked on immigration justice, disability justice, racial justice, community building for Jews of color, reproductive justice, intergenerational community building, arts and cultural work, gender justice, queer and trans liberation, mutual aid organizing, Palestine solidarity and justice work, caretaking work in your family or community, teaching or learning our Jewish culture and wisdom traditions. Come on, I need to see more hands here. And many other efforts in and outside Kadima.
And we are in community alongside leaders of so many kinds of liberatory work. Max Amen, the American Muslim Empowerment Network, Valley and Mountain, Jewish Voice for Peace, the Poor People's Campaign, Nicholsville, the Jewish Coalition for Immigrant Justice, Social Justice Fund, UFCW, Cherry Street Village, Puget Sound Advocates for Retirement Action, the National Writers Union, Northwest Immigrant Rights Project, and Synagogues Rising, and so many more.
Thank you. Hashem Dank. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Shukran. Toda rabba.
It really is humbling to serve as co-leaders of a coalition of such fabulous, joyful community care workers. How powerful to be reminded that we are interdependent, doing none of this alone. So you already heard from him, but we are going to reintroduce Rabbi David.
Rabbi David Basior is the rabbi of Kadima Reconstructionist Community. He's the immediate past chair of the Washington Coalition of Rabbis, the current co-chair of the Tikkun Olam Commission for Reconstructing Judaism, and the incoming vice president's Co-Housing Coordinating Committee. I also sneak in something not in my script. If you're going to need a roommate when you're doing solidarity work with Palestinians, David's the guy to be your roommate. I can speak to that.
He also plays the baritone sax. His favorite color is purple. He's a big Taylor Swift fan. He wanted Channing Nicholas to be our keynote. If you know, you know. He's a Pisces Aries cusp and a 9 on the Enneagram.
And here he is.
Greetings, Greater Ida and Kadima community members. On Zeb. Oh, yeah, and first. Thank you for that very unique introduction, Lauren and Reiner. Some things I wanted people to know about. I want to begin by honoring the 2 sets of 4 people who enable my work most directly. Ariel, Madrona, and Galia Zaslav, and Diane Beverly. And Trudy, thank you, Ida. They all contribute greatly to Kadima by loving me, caring for me, holding me accountable, and giving me inspiration, as well as being Kadima students and teachers. Trudy, my dog, is also good. To Morgan, Gila, Val, and McKenna, this year has been a remarkable challenge on so many personal and organizational fronts, and your humor, your care, your slack, your communication, your accountability, your love, and remarkable skills and talents as well that you share with Kadima are all a deep gift to me personally, and I can say firsthand and vouch, benefits Kadima in ways likely no one in this room fully comprehends. You are a fabulous team, and I am grateful for and to you each. Friends, yeah, indeed. Molly, I'm looking at you too. Friends, let me start by saying Kadima in some ways, Miriam in some ways, has never been as strong as it is right now in my 8 years of intimate knowledge on the topic. Yeah, clap for our strength. Our prominence has grown tremendously as a respected organization throughout the Jewish community, locally, nationally, and internationally, within a remarkably strong and growing multiracial, multigender, intergenerational, multi-ability, feminist, and queer progressive Jewish left. That was like a whole row right there. These are true facts that our cameos tonight can attest to. And I'm going to introduce a Jewish way of thinking about our financial state of affairs. For while in some ways we have never been stronger, in other ways we have never been at such a deficit. These are the times we are in. Kadima has never spent excessively and is one of the most resourceful groups of people and organizations I have ever known. Our 2 community meetings at the beginning of April, Lauren and Reiner offered a generous perspective that they assume everyone in the greater Kadima community is contributing as much as we can financially to Kadima. I appreciate this perspective very much, and there is no reason to believe it is not true. The only thing is, as they said a month ago, that it is not enough to keep up with the ways we need to enact justice internally at Kadima. People, you, us, we give so much to this organization. I know it and I see it. Embodying this perspective enables us to take a moment and feel good about how much we already do, and also examine how much we can help expand Kadima's income streams and diversify our funding. Matching gifts through your employer, sharing about Kadima with those you love, and giving Kadima the tools to fundraise others in your life who care about you and your home for Jewish community, joy, and justice. These are all ways to go beyond yourself in bringing Kadima the resources we all need to do what we do well and better and more of it for more people. You will find on the back of your program a QR code.
Inside the program.
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't gotten one yet. It's inside your program. Thank you. You will find this QR code for a friends and family campaign. This is one way that lets you share the gift of Kadima with those you love and those who love you and want to support you. By filling out that form, you can let Kadima fundraise those folks and ask them to support you by supporting all of us. Tonight kicks off our Friends and Family campaign, so use the QR code, and then tonight and through this week, fill it out with a contact or 5 to support Kadima's expanding our income streams and diversifying our funding. We could never do this alone. If you have thoughts on how we can further increase our income streams and diversify our funding, we're all ears. We want to be creative knowing that our members and greater community already give what they are able to. And then there is another opinion out there. I'm not going to attribute this opinion, as they prefer to stay anonymous, and their opinion may prove less popular. This opinion, a devar acher, as the Talmud would call it, a different opinion on the matter, says that in fact, no one at Kadima is giving everything they can. Everyone could in fact do more. This opinion says, look, everyone at Kadima wants to be giving everything they can, but let's face it, capitalism, anti-Semitism and its internalization, classism, so many other oppressions make it hard and confusing for so many people to know how much they actually can give. So says the holder of this other opinion. Fine and good to increase the income streams. Yes, let's. But also, they say, everyone at Kadima can and could and perhaps even should be giving more than they already are. For some folks, this is a 50-cent increase than they have already been giving. For others, this is a $50,000 increase to what you are already giving. Because in both cases, the giver could and would not harm themselves if they did. This is the Rambam's wisdom. So, on one hand, we have the need to increase our income streams because we are all doing everything we can. And on the other hand, we have the need to increase our own giving because we can, and Kadima has the opportunity to turn that money into justice. The true definition of the word tzedakah. Tzedakah. And on the topic of justice, a foundational principle to Kadima, I want to introduce to you our guest speaker for this year's Heart and Chutzpah. This speaker embodies justice, radiates heart, and empowers chutzpah, the sacred act of bravery and challenging common assumptions. In all I have seen him do. I couldn't possibly sum up Dean Spade's accolades in an introduction such as this. Dean Spade has been working to build queer and trans liberation based in racial and economic justice for the past 2 decades, at least. I think it's an old bio. He is a professor at Seattle University School of Law. His video, Shiz is Totally Effed, What Can We Do? A mutual aid explainer, has been in Kadima curriculum for Team Yitro, and his work through Big Door Brigade has amplified the work of so many mutual aid workers throughout the world, looking to not just dismantle systems of oppression and harm, but also build Olam Haba, the world of collective liberation, joy, and care that we are building together. Dean and I have shared chats about Jewishness, Judaism, abolition, Israel-Palestine, art, family, and community, and I am so humbled to have received not just an excited yes when asked to be our speaker this evening, not just a creative solution to share authentically and personally with us, despite not being with us live or on Zoom or on site, but also the deep commitment of mutuality and collective spirit that he did it with. Please join me in welcoming, with emojis in the Zoom chat, spirit fingers, and applause, Dean Spade. Now I'll say Dean is a white fellow with black mustache and a really, really nice, and I'm jealous of, black coif. Wearing a plaid green, blue and red shirt, if I'm correct, sitting in front of a painting that was rescued with ancestors from Europe. And in a moment, we're going to get that playing for you on the screen behind me and on Zoom. Please welcome Dean Spade.